Yes, we thank you so much for joining in. It's UBC News Tonight. My name is Michael Jordan Lukomwa with Elizabeth Nakakoni, our sign language interpreter. President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, in our first story, who is also the Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces in Uganda, today met with the Army's High Command to review Uganda's security situation and assess the country's strategic priorities. The meeting, which took place at State House Entebbe, focused on consolidating national stability and strengthening the country's defense posture. The president commended the Chief of Defense Forces, General Muhoozi Kainerugaba, senior commanders, rank and file officers for their discipline, professionalism and unwavering commitment to safeguarding Uganda's peace and sovereignty. He reaffirmed the government's commitment to strengthen Uganda's defense capacity to ensure the country remains secure and firmly focused on its social and economic transformation agenda.
Minister of Defense and Veteran Affairs, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. This is our agenda. Let us execute the brief by the Chief of Defense.
In more news, President Yoweri Museveni has hosted a high-level UK-India-Uganda multi-sectoral trade delegation at State House Entebbe, underscoring the importance of continental economic integration as a pathway to shared global prosperity. The delegation comprised of members of the Westminster Africa Business Association, led by CEO Lawrence Robertson, and the South Asia Chamber of Commerce and Industry, led by Chairman Mahendra Singh Jadeja. The British High Commissioner to Uganda, Lisa Chesney, also attended the meeting. Discussions focused on strengthening trade, investment and manufacturing partnerships among the United Kingdom, India and Uganda. Museveni emphasized that sustainable prosperity is built on linking producers to consumers, supported by infrastructure, peace, skills development and affordable finance. He highlighted Uganda's strategic position as a stable gateway to East Africa and the wider African market under the African Continental Free Trade Area, noting access to a domestic market of nearly 50 million people, 300 million in East Africa, 600 million in COMESA, and a continental market of over 1.5 billion people. The president called for accelerated infrastructure development through public-private partnerships and outlined priority investment areas, including manufacturing supported by affordable electricity, low-cost financing through the Uganda Development Bank, and improved transport networks such as regional railway links and oil pipeline infrastructure. He described Africa as the next big business center of the world, saying that the continent's growing population and improving health outcomes present unprecedented economic opportunities. The UK delegation commended Uganda's long-standing peace and stability, reaffirming strong bilateral ties, and the UK has invested over £1.3 billion in Uganda, with an additional £1 billion in the pipeline. New initiatives under the ambition for 10-fold growth strategy include support for agricultural exports, power transmission and infrastructure, and nationwide solar-powered irrigation systems. The British Chamber of Commerce Uganda was recognized for promoting trade and investment linkages, now comprising 59 members across 17 sectors and employing more than 21,000 Ugandans. Stakeholders in Masindi's sugar industry have rallied behind a proposal to relocate roadside weighbridges outside core sugarcane growing zones, arguing that their presence within production areas has fueled theft and exploitation of farmers. We have details from Masindi.
The meeting held at Kabalega Resort in Masindi town was convened on instructions of State Minister for Trade General Wilson Mbadi after concerns were raised by sugar millers, farmers cooperatives and local leaders over the operations and subsequent closure of web bridges. Participants noted that since the closure, reported cases of sugarcane theft have significantly declined. Masindi Municipal Mayor Ronald Chwamuhendo, who is also a commercial sugarcane farmer, said the roadside web bridges had become ready markets for stolen cane.
And the issue of middlemen is what has been doing the problem. People buying cane from farmers at very low price, coming and selling at higher prices. And also loading too much. Some of the farmers are not even sure of how much their cane is weighed, how much their cane is brought to the market, and all that type of thing. So we're trying to remove problems so that the sugar industry in Masindi continue moving very well.
District Chairperson Cosmos Biarhanga attributed irregularities to middlemen and dealers operating web bridges without clear links to licensed factories or verified farmer registers.
Why we have all this confusion is having the middlemen. The middlemen under the umbrella of the union. The union do not own that way bridge. That way bridge belongs to Victoria. The union do not buy sugarcane. The union do not mill the sugarcane. The union have no transport for these farmers' sugarcane. Now, this is what is causing confusion.
He urged the government to enforce Section 26 of the sugar regulations, which requires that all sugarcane deliveries be weighed at licensed premises. Section 26, subsection 2, provides that the weighing of sugarcane shall be carried out at licensed premises of a licensed person. Biaruhanga proposed that web bridges be relocated away from the sugarcane operation zones to areas along the Kampala Road towards Luwero, beyond the main growing belt, to reduce opportunities for the theft while maintaining market access for non-contracted farmers.
We can think of the location of the way bridge. If we find it necessary, we can have it a suitable place, but away from town. Because in town now you can't know where the truck is coming from. So that after loading, the cane is taken directly to Victoria Sugar.
Chinyara Sugar Limited Public Relations Officer Francis Mugera supported the relocation proposal, saying the company would welcome web bridges being moved outside the sugarcane production area.
We are very comfortable with streamlined operations to ensure that the farmer is protected. We are also protected. And even other millers are protected. We know that we can't run an industry alone. So we are comfortable with the stakeholder so long as there is no theft which is occasioning our farmers huge losses.
He added that the efforts to streamline and regulate web bridge operations in a manner that protects farmers have already contributed to reducing theft.
The farmers are free to sell, as I said, to anyone of their choice. If they are able to sell to Kinyara, especially our contracted farmers, we welcome it. If there are those with independent or private sugarcane which they want to register with us, we welcome it. All we need is harmony within the sugarcane industry.
However, the chairman of Bunyoro Sugarcane Farmers Cooperative Union called for the reopening of web bridges, proposing the formation of a regulatory committee to oversee their operations and develop clear guidelines. Victoria Sugar Limited Operations Officer Nasif Ismail suggested a dialogue between Victoria Sugar and Chinyara Sugar Management to find a lasting solution to the web bridge impasse. Amwaiva Njuko and Kenneth Tanaba for UBC.
Ministry of Agriculture, Animal Industry and Fisheries has plans to vaccinate all animals against foot and mouth disease in the third quarter of the 2025-2026 financial year. The Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Agriculture, Major General David Chomukama, said that the ministry procured 50.6 million doses of the FMD vaccine to support the nationwide exercise.
The Permanent Secretary, Major General David Chomukama, and officials from the Ministry of Agriculture appeared before Parliament's Public Accounts Committee to respond to queries raised in the Auditor General's Report 2025. The committee is chaired by Mawogola South County Member of Parliament, Goreth Namuga.
Be systematic on these matters. You are aware that you plan annual implementation. Yes. Your budget is annual. It is you who draft your procurement plan with your technical team. It's your plan. Yes. Committing to implement activities in the course of the financial year.
According to the report, the ministry received a warranted budget of 425 billion for foot and mouth disease interventions against an approved budget of 427.6 billion shillings. This funding facilitated the procurement of 50.6 million doses of the foot and mouth disease vaccine. As the Permanent Secretary explained,
Government of Uganda decided, because we had gone the way of culling, we would have had to compensate people, so it would have cost a lot of money for us. So the best is to vaccinate our animals. So the problem is storage. You see, with FMD, the problem is the availability of the vaccine. 2, the problem is storage of this vaccine so that it doesn't get spoiled. Number 3, the problem is ensuring that the vaccine gets to the cow and that you know which cow has been vaccinated when, so that you can vaccinate it again the next year.
Chomukama emphasized that the ministry's goal is to eliminate foot and mouth disease across the country. The 2021 Ubos livestock census shows that approximately 44.5 million animals are susceptible to FMD.
We are vaccinating all the animals in the country. Why? Because if you keep an animal which is unvaccinated, Honorable Seungu, or you, ma'am, or me, will give somebody a cow. And this cow will spread this disease. So if you have an outbreak, you have to pre-order. And when you order, many times it takes a long time for these vaccines to be produced.
However, members of the Public Accounts Committee raised concern that out of the 50.6 million doses procured, only 10 million could be accommodated at the National Vaccine Storage Facility in Entebbe.
The ministry does not have adequate storage facilities, Madam Chair, for the procurement, from the procured 50.6 million doses of FMD. For agriculture, where you have a big challenge is failure to give us, as a committee, your evidence demanding for these establishments that can facilitate the proper treatment and storage of these vaccines to clear this problem in the country.
The Ministry of Agriculture has serious issues with your procurements under here, and it's all put to you as the team. Not because the timelines are very clear. Start on a system, it's, except when you want to inform us that the procurement, to you, the procurement law is doesn't work under your circumstance. It's so peculiar and unique.
We have also built storage facilities in 53 districts. We intend to build storage facilities in all the districts as soon.
Science, technology and innovation dominated discussions that the 76th graduation luncheon organized by the convocation of Makerere University under the theme Celebrating Excellence, Inspiring Impact.
Speaker Honorable Monica Munsenero urged graduates to use science, technology and innovation to solve real-world problems.
Because science must travel and touch the economy from the ideas, the brilliant ideas of all the academicians. That science must be translated. The ideas, the research, those theses and those publications must be translated into tools, technology tools. Tools must become innovations to be addressing problems of the nation. because the role of science and technology in Uganda has only two goals. One is to address the challenge that we have of poverty, and number two, to address the challenge that we have of underdevelopment.
University leaders, including the Vice-Chancellor and Deputy Vice-Chancellor, congratulated the graduates and encouraged them to use their knowledge for national development.
Yes, I want to thank the Convocation of Makerere University for organizing a luncheon, which is organized every graduation specifically to recognize our best performing students, our best researchers, and this time we have even recognized our best innovators. Technology has introduced that award at Makerere University to recognize the best innovators whom they are going to support to incubate their ideas until they get products that they can take out to the market.
So every luncheon we've had, at least we've gotten people get themselves into platforms where they can use their skills and talents that they have acquired while at the university, and some people have gotten actual jobs.
Representing the private sector, Dr. Ruth Kaselu advised STEM graduates to leverage available resources to create opportunities rather than wait for jobs.
Please use your knowledge to turn it into businesses. Uganda doesn't have jobs. If you think you'll find a job, you have a job with you. When you do a science technology course, you already have a job with you. You can turn that knowledge, create employment, start working. If it's in agriculture, if it's in manufacturing, go and do it.
The Katikkiro of Buganda, Charles Peter Mayiga, has urged the people of Uganda to support the Luwalolwa Fair initiative that revives and strengthens the kingdom's activities.
Collected 1,950,000,000 plus last year, which we utilized towards the following: establishment of nursery schools in the counties, holding of health camps, and supporting Mutesa II Health Center in Mityana, supporting the Kabaka Education Fund, completion of Kasubi Tombs. We used it to support the program of Mwanyi Terimba. We use it to support construction of Budu Stadium. In whatever we do, transparency is a priority. I want those who contribute to Luwalo to fully understand how their money is spent and the significance of the areas that Luwalo money supports. As we start 2026, we must retain hope despite the challenges we may be facing. After general elections in Uganda, those who are declared victorious celebrate, but those who lose often get depressed. We experienced violence, and at times, in certain circumstances, life was lost. We need to retain hope. We need to regenerate hope, regardless of the challenging situations. Everyone in the kingdom must aim at the highest standards, whatever your work is. At Ruvuma Island on the 10th of February 2026, I launched Strulo Mutindo program. We must aim at the highest standards in agriculture, in health, in education, in commerce, in homestead, environment, and in the promotion of talents. Hope is the fuel that keeps you moving even when the going is tough. And no one can perform at the high standards when one has lost hope.
State Minister for Tourism, Wildlife and Antiquities, Martin Mugarra, has released the first Bwendi chimpanzee census report conducted in 2025. The census targeted establishing a scientific, robust baseline estimate of population size, density, and spatial distribution across Bwendi Impenetrable National Park.
The census of Bwendi was demand-driven. It came from over a period of time, chimp census have been done, but in Bwendi, it was always an estimate based on the gorilla census. And the last gorilla census had recommended actually that there be a chimp census because no one knew the numbers. But along the way, they always spotted this. So it was demand driven. And it would certainly would have been very important to get this data such that we get holistic system management that threatens the long-term viability of wind-great ape species. Focusing on gorillas alone, while the chimpanzees are also over 98%, the same range, even higher, more closer than to the human beings than the mountain gorillas, was very risky if anything cropped up.
Now that we know the empirical figures there, I would like to conclude by mentioning that in Bwindi we have 426 chimpanzees. They are mostly distributed within the northern segment of the park, but they also live sympatrically with mountain gorillas. We do hope that these figures will be incorporated within the UNESCO framework.
For Uganda Wildlife Authority, these findings are of strategic importance because they strengthen our ability to plan and manage the park using evidence-based approaches. The data will inform protected area management decisions, guide conservation investments, and support the integration of chimpanzees into long-term conservation and monitoring frameworks alongside other flagship species. The census results also reinforce the importance.
The Uganda AIDS Commission, in partnership with Village Journeys Africa, have launched the Uganda HIV Marathon that marks the unveiling of a national movement that brings together government partners in a united effort to end HIV by 2030. The Director General of the Uganda AIDS Commission, Dr. Musowa Nelson, highlighted that stigma and discrimination still threaten the great goal.
The media role that the media can play, because
to launch the Bwindi chimpanzee census results.
The census of Bwindi was demand-driven. It came from over a period of time. Chimp census have been done, but in Bwindi it was always an estimate based on the gorilla census. And the last gorilla census had recorded.
Because that this is to officially launch this campaign and
Among the key activities unveiled is the Torch of Hope National Roadmap, a nationwide awareness and health outreach campaign that will cover 10 major cities ahead of the flagship marathon scheduled for November 2026. The initiative is expected to strengthen partnerships and mobilize resources for the HIV response.
Like we've said, this is not just about running, but it will be about raising awareness, inspiring behavior change, strengthening community engagement, and mobilizing resources to support HIV prevention and care services.
Stakeholders shared their community-based interventions aimed at ending AIDS by 2030.
The Uganda AIDS Marathon was born from one simple idea: take awareness to the people. Not only in the boardrooms, not only in the hospitals, but on the streets, in the schools, the universities, the workplaces, and all across Uganda. We are not going to confine ourselves to just Kampala. We are going to go out to the whole country. So when people work together, when we participate in this marathon together, we are reconnecting the communities with hope. That's why the marathon will now become an annual event. We will have it every last Sunday before World AIDS Day.
In 2014, we conducted a survey of HIV in the prison. And in this survey, we found that the prevalence of HIV was about 14% among prisoners and 12% among staff. Now, that was at the time when the national average was 5.1. 14 and 12%. And since then, we instituted measures and interventions to reduce this prevalence.
My emphasis is on the role that the media can play, because the media, including journalists and respective media houses, have unfettered audiences who can follow them to the dot. The media has the capacity to comprehend very complex issues, break them down to simplest forms of consumption by their respective audiences, and are believable. So if the media is at a forefront, I know this fight would really yield greater results in the shortest time possible.
Although the country has registered tremendous progress in the fight against HIV and AIDS, rising stigma indicates that Uganda still has a long way to go, especially among the youth. This is one of the reasons the marathon is being used as a platform to attract and engage young people in the national HIV prevention campaign.
Rotary International President Francesco Arezzo has launched a multi-million polio immunization center in Kajansi, Wakiso district to strengthen efforts against the disease in Uganda.
Government and Rotary are leading intensified nationwide door-to-door campaigns targeting children under 5 in high-risk areas.
Whereas we started with immunizing under attrition, the Rotary Club of Kajansi has taken another step and have put up this structure. We are convinced that in the next 1-2 years, we shall be talking about a center of excellence, we shall be talking about a center of immunization.
Rotary clubs, including Blue Hearts, Kajansi and Kampala South, partner with DFCU Bank to conduct routine immunizations and advocacy work.
The Rotarians of the 3 clubs, the senior leaders of the 2 districts, and all the partners that with us has created this great team that is so important, and was possible to do all this because we unite for good.
Supported by the Ministry of Health and World Health Organization, the campaign strengthens surveillance and closes immunity gaps with oral vaccines.
This project is still going on, and we are looking forward to make it a better place, a big hospital in Janyi to help our community.
The Rotary Foundation and DFCU Bank also fund nationwide health camps as part of a 3-year initiative to improve preventive health.
The Uganda Red Cross Society has issued warning over the unauthorized use of its emblem, cautioning that violators will face legal action.
Uganda Red Cross Society has held a stakeholders engagement on humanitarian diplomacy, the safer access framework and international humanitarian law. Officials highlighted the importance of respecting the Red Cross emblem. The meeting aimed to protect peace, coexistence and protect humanitarian actors while they carry out their duties. Director Communications, Resource Mobilization and Partnership at Uganda Red Cross Society, Irene Nakasita, emphasized protecting the emblem to ensure humanitarian operations.
Or the Red Cross emblem, it is the Red Cross on a white background, but many times we've experienced people abusing our logo or our emblem. Sometimes out of ignorance, people adopt the Red Cross and use it on their ambulances, on their medical facilities, on their emergency centers, but out of ignorance. However, the Penal Code and the Red Cross Act clearly stipulates the Red Cross as the only designated symbol or logo or sign for the Uganda Red Cross in Uganda, and therefore anyone who uses it out of ignorance is called upon to stop it because it's the brand and it's the logo of the Uganda Red Cross. So we have exclusive rights and use over the Red Cross sign as our only emblem in Uganda. And that's why during times of war, we project it as clearly as possible so that even from afar, if anyone wanted to target and shoot and kill a first responder or a Red Crosser, they wouldn't do it because it's a distinctive sign that clearly shows what we do and how we do it, and therefore calls for respect of the Red Cross symbol.
Nakasita further appealed to media practitioners on objective reporting.
To emphasize different responsibilities and roles that are played by these different stakeholders, for them to appreciate where they play and at what level they play. Take an example, if somebody is maybe a political person is being searched and they went to a market, would you shoot the entire market and kill everybody? We want to make sure that even the security operatives try to focus and respect the international humanitarian law and as they deal with civilians of the country.
Zahra Abigaba, UBC News.
Let's take a short break. On return, we'll have business news tonight.
Mukyala
wanje dadi
okimanyi nti abaana batuuse okudda ku masomero naye sente zibuze kakati ky'oba okola twalayo ekitundu kya fiizi ku ssomero lya junior eza van tunaazisasula oluvannyuma
naye dadi lwaki tetusasula nga tukozesa momo etuwa n'omukisa oguwangula school fees za mwaka mulamba bweddu n'okusingawo ate nno mwattu osobola n'okufuna looni ya school fees ku momo mpozi n'ekirala essomero erikozesa momo lisobola okwewangulira vaani
kyekyo kyennyini wangula school fees wa mwaka mulamba n'okusingawo ate nga n'amasomero agakozesa momo galina omukisa okuwangula vaani ko n'ebirabo ebirala 1,000 osobola n'okufuna looni ya school fees ku momo nyiga star 165 star 8 noti hashi oba kozesa momo app.
Across Tilenga's host communities, families are accessing transformative opportunities. Youth are gaining practical skills that lead to employment. Farmers are getting improved yields and stepping into profitable value chains. Local businesses are joining supply networks once considered beyond reach. Women are accessing programs that open new opportunities and strengthen their voices and well-being. Families are benefiting from improved infrastructure that makes access to essential services easier, faster, and more affordable. Communities are shaping decisions, ensuring development reflects their needs. This is progress you can see, feel, and live every day. It is real shared value, where communities do not simply live near development, but experience it in their lives. And it's about growing together and building a future rooted in sustainable development.
Mukyala
wanje dadi
okimanyi nti abaana batuuse okudda ku masomero naye sente zibuze kakati ky'oba okola twalayo ekitundu kya fiizi ku ssomero lya junior eza van tunaazisasula oluvannyuma
naye dadi lwaki tetusasula nga tukozesa momo etuwa n'omukisa oguwangula school fees za mwaka mulamba bweddu n'okusingawo ate nno mwattu osobola n'okufuna looni ya school fees ku momo mpozi n'ekirala essomero erikozesa momo lisobola okwewangulira vaani
kyekyo kyennyini wangula school fees wa mwaka mulamba n'okusingawo ate nga n'amasomero agakozesa momo galina omukisa okuwangula vaani ko n'ebirabo ebirala 1,000 osobola n'okufuna looni ya school fees ku momo nyiga star 165 star 8 noti hashi oba kozesa momo app.
UBC News Tonight, welcome to our business news segment. The Insurance Regulatory Authority of Uganda has launched the 5th edition of its Insurance Week drive and exposition geared at deepening insurance awareness and uptake. Scheduled for the 19th to the 26th of March, the annual Insurance Week has become a flagship industry platform, bringing together insurers, brokers, agents, bank assurance players and the wider public to showcase sector progress.
We shall crown it off with the Insurance Innovations Awards, which will recognize innovative solutions and products transforming the insurance industry. We deliberately extended the schedule of this year's Insurance Week to a full week, including a weekend, to give the public more time to engage meaningfully with the licensed players and also the key financial stakeholders in order to understand the working of insurance and other financial solutions. And indeed, it will give you an opportunity to access insurance and other essential services.
We are looking at insurance not just as a source of premiums, we are not looking at it as a source of survival for insurers, but also the people part is very, very important. That's why this time, as the Insurance Training College, we are mobilizing students across the country to be part of the Insurance Week.
Future eriku kushua ne insure. That theme resonates with the masses. It brings the aspect of insurance and the aspect of trust closer to the masses. As the Uganda Insurance Association, we shall focus on promoting the digital stickers.
State Minister for Trade and Industry David Bahati has hailed the Development Finance Company of Uganda for promoting financial inclusion that powers entrepreneurship and drives socio-economic transformation down to the grassroots level.
Speaking at the opening of the new DFCU Bank branch at Namamve Industrial Park, Minister Bahati highlighted the industrial sector's contribution of nearly 16.5% of Uganda's GDP and 8 trillion shillings to the national treasury.
So you are the second bank to open a branch in Industrial Park. So we want really to thank you very much and welcome you to this Industrial Park. And also for you to have looked at industrial parks as one of the areas that you need to facilitate. We have a plan as government to put up 22 industrial parks across the country. So far, we are at 12. And Namamve is one of the biggest industrial parks by government. We also have industrial parks by the private sector like Mbale, like Kapeka, and others which are coming up.
Matthias Jumba, DFCU's head of integrated channels, said the Namamve branch will provide tailored financial products and services targeting the park's business community.
We believe we have competitive lending rates in the market. As you all know, the business of banking is no different from any other shop where you buy goods and put a markup and sell to customers. So even us as a financial institution, we sell what our customers have brought to us.
That we want to be closer to the customers. So this is part of our journey. You will also see other branches where we have rationalized, like Ntinda, where we had 2 branches and we merged it into one. So this is a journey where we do a business case and also look at the merits of opening a branch.
Milk prices in Nakaseke district have doubled following the contribution of 2 new feeder roads covering 60 kilometers. Local leaders say that the improved transport network has boosted market access for farmers and also led to a sharp rise in the price of milk at collection centers.
Poor road networks seem to hinder farmers from transporting milk to collection centers, especially during the rainy season. funded by Uganda's government, Islamic Development Bank, and Lives and Livelihood Funds. 2 60-kilometer feeder roads were completed under the Local Economic Growth Support Project.
These roads are actually covering a wide area. One of the roads is 27.5 kilometers, and this is the one which is Migane, and it continues to Kagonji. There is another one in Wachato sub-county, which is, that one is 27.5 kilometers. This one in Ngoma is 33 kilometers.
As a result, milk prices rose from 500 shillings to 1,000 shillings.
We have already given testimonies that actually out of these roads being created, constructed, the prices of milk have gone up. The time that the motorcycles and vehicles spend to bring ingredients has also shortened, and the people are generally happy because of the intervention of government.
In Nakaseke district, roads have eased movement, with residents able to reach health centers and learners to access schools. Businesses located along roads are thriving.
Oleta motoka yo neitawo noleta ya business neitawo owa boda atambula owe kigere atambula ezo segeniza NRM
nze nali mpeka abaana ku mabega bega wano nga mpita ku kkubo lino olwaleero nvuga piki nga tewali kinkwatako.
The permanent secretary in the Ministry of Local Government, Benjamin Kumumanya, officially commissioned the roads.
They have the cows, they can sell the milk, they can have the motorcycles, they can have the vehicles, they can transport themselves to hospital, and therefore, without having many problems, because once you have created wealth, then you can service your needs and you can be able to live a comfortable life.
Better roads improve mobility, which is an advantage to Nakaseke's dairy sector. Joseph Okol compiled the story.
Sports news tonight. The 5th edition of the Tusker Light Mount Renzori Marathon 2026 has been launched with a call rallying all to embrace sports tourism. The marathon, due later this year, will feature more than 10,000 runners from across the globe.
The 5th edition of Uganda's now globally acclaimed Tusker Light Mount Renzori Marathon has officially been launched at the Sheraton Hotel in Kampala. Its launch has been graced by high-level politicians, businessmen and sports personalities, headlined by the chief guest, Deputy Speaker of Parliament Thomas Tayebwa, who spoke commitment towards funding and sports tourism.
We are not only going to stop at the marathon. Sports tourism is going to be very, very critical. As most of you know, we have a strategy of growing our economy to $550 billion. And our target by 2040 is to ensure we focus on the 4 areas of ATMS, agriculture, tourism, minerals, and science and technology. So tourism is extremely, extremely critical. So this sports tourism, now we are tasking the Honorable Peter Gwang to start negotiations with the National Council of Sports to look at how we can hold a DP World International Golf Tournament in the country. And we give you the money to do that. I think we've already put some money in the budget. I hope, like how you saw Magical Kenya, you saw, big spenders coming from all over the world. Ugandans are on, the big spenders of Uganda, going to Nairobi to attend Magical Kenya.
Tayebwa applauded private people-led enterprises that he says are critical and exponentially grow the economy, which is a trend many Ugandans must adopt.
For those who are always blaming government that you have not done ABCD, you can see if you start an initiative, government can find you along the way. So it means you're the government. You're the government. I've seen my brother Joe Walker, the Manya, is around. Yes, the initiative he started, and the contribution he has made. Now I see Amos here. So citizens, instead of us waiting, complaining, government, you're not promoting tourism, government, you're not doing ABCD, start the initiative and we shall be forced to come on board. For us, we never ignore numbers. Because when we see 6,000 people running, we know these are voters. So, man, that's an opportunity.
State Minister for ICT Godfrey Kabyanga spoke strides taken by Kasese and its residents to maximize on the economic potential the marathon brings.
You'd always hear about ADF attacks, you'd hear about Nyamwamba floods, but now that is history. Now Kasese is known as the center of the best marathon ever. And this is not a charity marathon. It is basically a commercial marathon. We don't run to collect money to build hospitals. We run to make money. And that one has transformed Kasese tremendously. Now people are busy. After the marathon, they start organizing for the next edition. If you look at Kasese town now, I counted last weekend, we have 4 hotels coming up. And everybody is struggling that they should be ready by August. So, and if you look at the business trend now, people are beautifying their restaurants, people are now transforming their homes into stay-ins, people are now preparing their compounds for camping. So you just see that everybody is very, very busy.
Also present at the launch of this World Athletics Certified Marathon was the State Minister for Sports, Peter Ogwang, who reiterated government commitment towards sport with a $1 million check in line for this marathon.
The fundamental question has been that we as Ugandans, we send money to those respective cities or those respective countries. But we have not been having an event where those people come in here in the country. And I want us in a special to clap for Amos. No one should take this credit. That it's only Amos who was able to identify the niche. After identifying the niche, invested his personal resources. We are now coming in to support him to ensure that what you've been seeing in the rest of the other world comes to Uganda. And we can pledge this today. I have told you, as the government of the Republic of Uganda, we are going to invest under the Ministry of Education and Sports $1 million, which is an equivalent of 3.5 billion. Why, in our considered opinion, these global athletes you see, they come to compete for prizes. In what Amos and others have been doing, theirs has been not putting in money for prize money. So now for us who are saying, Amos, to support your initiative as the Minister of Education and Sports, let's put in prize money.
Uganda breweries, through its Tascalite brand, have over the years been trusted partners and aren't going anywhere.
We've been together for the last 5 years, and I can only say that it has been quite a successful partnership for the last 5 years. We are very proud of what we've been able to do together with the organizers of the marathon. We have seen transformation in Kasese. We've seen the tourism in Uganda even grow more, especially sports tourism, with a lot of runners coming in. As Uganda Breweries and as Tascalite, our commitment is that we shall continue to do the work we've been doing from year one, and we encourage Ugandans to support and to come through for the run.
This marathon has grown through the phases, starting with the inaugural edition in 2022 that attracted just 800 runners, with these numbers now growing to over 6,000 runners last year from more than 37 countries.
In 2022, I met the CEO in a parking. He didn't know me, I didn't know him. And I told him I want to do what Kilimanjaro Marathon has done to Tanzania in Uganda as well. Within 5 minutes, he had committed 800 million shillings in the support of Rwenzori Marathon. I said, we know, we can trust that you will put up a very good show. And as I speak, I think this year they're committing 2.2 billion shillings.
At the marathon, that is the third in East Africa to get the road race label tag and can thus ably attract top elite athletes. Runners contest 42, 21, 10 and 5 kilometers. This year's event, which is an official qualifier to the Comrades and the Two Oceans Marathon in South Africa, is scheduled for 22nd August.
Uganda is in the continental spotlight as it hosts the 17th Rugby Africa Annual General Meeting in Kampala this week. Our reporter has it in detail.
Rugby Africa President Herbert Mensah arrived in the country ahead of the AGM set for Friday at Kibera Country Club. Top on the agenda is sweeping constitutional amendments, including gender representation, term limits and governance reforms aligned with World Rugby standards.
And I'm in your country, and your president has showed us great understanding. You know, when we met him last year, the way he spoke about the youth and he spoke about development and so forth. So it's important that I get that out of the way first. Look, this AGM is huge. When I came into office, there were a number of changes that I said were fundamental. The first was with the Constitution. And if we want countries to change their constitutions, we have to look at ours. We have to recognize gender. We have to recognize term limits. We have to recognize the fact that you must be recommended from your own country, not from other countries. You have to, we've put mechanisms in place to make sure that this works. We've had it cleared with World Rugby, they like it, and it is huge. We need 75%.
Uganda Rugby President Godwin Kayangwe, who is contesting for the seat on the Rugby Africa Executive Committee, says that the meeting is also about creating African-owned competitions.
But I think as Africa, we realize we need our own product. So we're looking at doing something like African series. We are looking at that and planning it seriously. We have a series of our own 4-7s within Africa that our teams can look at annually, rather than waiting for the World Rugby format where you have to qualify and things are tough and changing all the time. We want to start producing our own products, and that's a discussion that we have in common with the people at the council.
More than 24 African unions are represented alongside senior officials from World Rugby in what is being described as a defining administrative moment for the sport on the continent. Uganda is also positioning itself to host future international tournaments, including the HSBC Sevens Challenger Series Division 3 in 2027. The AGM continues through the week with strategy workshops, safeguarding sessions, and governance meetings aimed at shaping the next chapter of African rugby. Report compiled by Grace Kemigisa.
David Pritz not making the initial tackle.
The Chapa League, which is a reserve for all students of Mbara High School, returns for its 11th season this Saturday at the NEC grounds in Bugolobi, promising bigger crowds and intense football.
As Guinness, I officially declare the opening of the Chapa League Season 11.
Organized by the Chapa Old Boys League and powered by Guinness, the league now features 20 teams, including new entrants T.Y. Sheldon and Eze Chenda.
I want to assure you that the first objective of the league has been achieved all through the years, and that is ensuring that the boys are united, and that shows through the teams, because every other year we have a team being formed.
Last season's champions Yobo Yobo are set to defend their title after a 1-0 victory over Bulls Old-Timers in the previous final. The league's vice chairperson Gideon Tomukunde said the knockout format will make every match critical, while the competition continues to support community and environmental initiatives. League chairman Kennedy Gominsiriza and Guinness brand manager Denise Nazinda emphasized that the partnership will ensure lively matchday experiences, combining football, entertainment, and social responsibility.
And as Guinness, of course, we've walked this journey with you. We are proud to keep walking the journey with you. For us, it's not mean fit to be a part of such amazing initiatives that bring people together. Guinness is all about, bold excitement and elevating match days. So we're here to make sure we bring the excitement to the league, ensuring that you have your Guinness cold, served fresh, and served at friendly prices. And at the end of the day, ensuring that you're having the best time. So for us, we are here to bring that vibe, to make sure you all, I've been hearing the word gumite, you're all gumite. On Saturday, to be part of that communion, to be part of the excitement of the competition on the pitch, and of course the fellowship off of it.
The league that will run from February till September is in partnership with Maryhill High School, which provides the girls-only team, Holistic FC.
Season 11 is going to be bigger. For us, it's not going to be like any other season. We are coming back greater this time.
The league that started in 2017 with the early days featuring 2 seasons in a calendar year will again run on the theme of Back to the Kraal and will feature competition and camaraderie.
That brings us to the end of all we had for you tonight. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Michael Jordan Lukomwa. With Elizabeth Nakakuna and the whole team, we wish you the best of the night. Bye-bye.
UBC, inspiring Uganda.
Exercise can't be sustained. Eating can't be stopped. It's even harder to lose weight. Come and give it a try. Genshikang L-carnitine chromium capsules. Plant extract, scientific ratio, take 3 capsules each time. The active ingredient accelerates fat burning, eat twice a day, don't take a detour. Weight loss starts now. Genshikang L-carnitine with chromium capsules helps you stay in shape. Please follow medical advice when taking this product. For more information, visit our website www.hgo.com or call 0800 335555.
Ishaka Bushenyi municipality is located in the Ankole sub-region of western Uganda, approximately 320 kilometers from Kampala. In Kashenyi ward, Ishaka division, Ayolechire Anna Babira stands out among the beneficiaries, transforming their livelihoods.
Nineka mpango abazire banje mwameri fazi barira no mucyara bakatwarwa na hanyine mu mukikuru umutura nawe na nabakozi.
On 1.5 acres of land, she grows strawberries, a high-value enterprise attracting both domestic and international demand.
Strawberries is a high-value crop. Nishona gichuzingire kandi nangwa nkareba president akarya kugamba ngo especially ababushenyi ngo turonde fruits zine high value ninga crops ahabo kubita kaditu nuriche kandi ari kutugambira cyo kukozesa 4 acre model. So ndeba nti nazo mu enterprise yo kuhinga encherere nimbasa kutunga mu munonga ahabo kubati tinkwenda itaka linji munonga ngombe nyine acres and acres. Eka yanjemwe n'ekicweka neba nemara kuhinga encherere kandi nkihamu cyamu. So nyine mwabakozi abo kukora burizoba abantu permanent abakozi batano then casual workers ni nabakozi batano nabo. Konka in the future niteka nakumani nkura ninja kuzingana naho mwanya aruguru yezeza hansi eze eyibakweta hydroponic. In fact, I mega one time